Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fablehaven Iratus Wrath of the Necromancer. We resume our rise to power in Eternal Harvest 5, the greatest difficulty the game has to offer, and we have nearly reached the very first boss. And I've called him so many things. I've called him the Overseer, the Taskmaster. It turns out his name is the Keymaster. You roll the Mistress twice in a row and you just forget what the first boss even is. And we're going to take a look at his Humanorium token before we fight him, because that's the benefit of having played this game many times. But for now, we'll leave that alone. The only thing I have carrying over from last episode is Iratus pointed out, correctly I think, that the Smoking Band, each time Iratus uses a spell, a random enemy is dealt 15 stress damage. This has a use, I suppose, which is that it could remove an extra ward for you. Right now, that's not that big of a deal, but in the future, we will be entering Ward City, where there's just a bazillion wards everywhere for seemingly little reason. So, a thought. I'm still not going to use it, but it's a thought. So, without further ado, let's hop into combat, shall we? Our first combat for today to warm up. In fact, all we have to warm up before the Keymaster is an elite guard, elite Ottoman doomsayer, and demolition expert. My, what a composition this is. So many things to kill and so little time. So, how do I want to deal with this? We have to stop the doomsayer. We have to stop the demolition expert. And we need to stop the Ottoman. It's a lot of priorities. Get over here. I guess we're going to leave the demolition expert to do its thing. And we'll just burn down the doomsayer. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. We'll set him on fire, we'll slap him. But that beautiful moaning chain damage. Well, it was kind of a 50-50 on who was going to get slept. I lost that roll. I guess our next priority target is the demolition expert. You should... Didn't think about that one. The Ottoman's going to kill the doomsayer if I don't. So this is what I need to dispel. We are approaching Dispel, thankfully. The horned one might be able to get the kill. I could set it up to try and guarantee the kill. I could spiderweb. There's so many things I could do. If I web... Alright. Let's just hope that the horned one can get a kill. It'll be the first kill of his existence. Probably. I don't remember. Oh, you're woken up. Thank you. Welcome back to the realm of the conscious. But let's see if the horned one can indeed kill this. Onslaught, which we picked up to actually move people about, deals an additional point of damage for every 8 points of vigor that is missing, so...
Maybe I'll craft this one into furniture.
5-point overkill. Nailed it.
Rage release.
We'll use a muck to slap harder. Uh-oh.
One less annoyance in the world.
Well, we prevented her from killing someone. Was that a win? I don't know. So how big is this buff again? Oh, that's pretty big buff. Increase the damage dealt by 50%. That's a lot of damahe you got there, lady. Let's see if we can ignore it and just kill her. Nailed it? Nailed it. I love ignoring things. Nothing gives me quite as much pleasure. Ignoring things is my favorite mechanic. In every game, really. Alright.
My will is a tide that will wash away your pathetic civilizations.
And that gave Loth level 10. Woo. That's not really a threshold for anything, I don't think. Just, yeah. Now she has six stat points, which is enough for 5 more vigor. Yay! I'm not quite sure what her vigor thresholds are to increase the healing of the spiky cocoon. I'm sure someone who's better at math than me can figure this out. It is 4% of her vigor each time. Don't know. That's why the bull skull was really good with her, but we're being partially aggressive with the venom spikes, because I do enjoy that. Halford has 4 points available, and we are sitting on 100 Digger Souls. Which means Halford could get quite a few more points available if we so desired. Do we? Yes. Yes, we do. Congratulations, Halford. Our first legendary part. I wanted it to be double attack. It can be double attack. Okay. All the greed. It's all there. The reason why I'm investing in Halford, I think, the most is because if we do put together the strongest composition in the game with the Ashes of the Burned Witch, Halford is still a part of that composition. So this is both a short-term and a long-term benefit. Baron Rivendare might not be. Loth will probably be, unless we find another Ashes. And the Horned One might be. But the Horned One and Loth are also far more likely to fall over than the relatively safe Blood Phantasm. With our talent points, we are going into Dispel, because it is low-key the best ability in the game. I need a Dark Knight. I was wondering what I was doing there. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not looking at the artifacts just yet. It's Dark Knight time.
Hardly an inspiring leader, but irrelevant for the armies of undead.
Hardly inspiring, but let's see if he can give us something inspiring today. Show me something good. The Orb of Negation. It's not bad. Not good, but I'll take it. There's certainly far worse options. So, what a composition. The Keymaster has alongside him a hunky and double conscript. Actually, not the most frightening things. All of his minions have a chance of being a hunky, conscript, or miner. And the way I know that is because of the Pokédex. So here is the lovely original first boss. So I've killed him numerous times. I'm rather well versed in what he does, but let's just go over it real quick. You can see 32 to 41 attack is mildly alarming. 785 sanity and 735 vigor, so he's slightly more resilient against stress builds. 112% accuracy, not the most accurate thing in the world, but the minor evasion of our group is going to be mostly irrelevant. 0% evasion himself. 37% luck, so decent crit chance. 4 ward, 4 block. So Loth is going to have fun, and 8 initiative. But his feature is that he does not escape, like all bosses. A 33% chance to redirect any attack or debuff to the ally standing in front. So pulling him forward, such as Loth's ability, is pretty nifty. And it increases the initiative of all allies, I'm assuming by himself as well, by the current round number. So the longer the fight goes on, the more initiative he and his companions have. I call them companions. They're more like slaves. His first ability moves himself backwards and attacks all of our creations. Joy. That's trying to make it so that his feature is always in play. His second ability he can use from the 3rd and 4th position, and it is a single target stun that also debuffs from -8 armor. Armor's kind of irrelevant at this point in the game, especially since you can't go into negative armor. So that's not the big deal, it's the stun that's the big deal. This is a buff. All allies restore 15 sanity, and buffs all allies until the end of battle, giving them +8 attack. So after a while, it is helpful to kill his friends, and not just focus him. This also, again, makes him slightly more resilient to stress builds, but +15 sanity is not a whole lot. Depending on what you're using, that's just like 1 curse. The 4th ability, he can summon a conscript, hunky, or a miner from any position. The summon character receives +4 attack. And his final ability, which he uses in the 1st position only, so when he's alone, pretty much, he will summon up to 3 conscripts, hunkies, or miners. You can get kind of screwed on RNG with these 2 abilities, because the Hunkies and the Miners are far more dangerous than the Conscripts. Even though I've been giving them a lot of respect with interrupting their stances, but the stun from the Hunkies and the double hit from the Miners is just way more devastating. Now I could go full greed here and go the Book of Ancient Wisdom to give us a lot of experience, or I could go responsible and pick up the Spiderweb. But you know what they say, and by they I mean me. Greed is good until it is bad.
Ah, fetching.
Also, I don't think I've ever used a Book of Ancient Wisdom on a boss, so let's see how much experience we get out of this. Also, Kirovets pointed out last time we had a quest, the very first good quest that I've ever been happy of receiving, which we could study explosives or we could study chemicals. And the chemicals would have given us additional vigor, whereas the explosives, which we did study, and I kind of went overboard putting them in the thumbnail because I thought it was funny, is it gives our minion +2 attack. And I wasn't sure if that was +2 attack just for our current minions, like the 4 minions that participated, or for all of our minions, and it looks like it is for all of our minions. So we will permanently have +2 attack. Good quest. Is it worth fishing for, though? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, because there are a lot of bad quests on the first floor. But you can determine for yourself if you like fishing for it. Personally, I avoid quests where I can. But enough of the quest talk, let us fight the Keymaster, our very first boss of the game, and of Eternal Harvest 5. I'm totally not nervous or anything. The keys in his possession granted this man great purpose. For a bribe and a favor, he was willing to carry missives, arrange fights, and allow gangs of criminals to quietly murder their competition while they slept. He saw himself as a king, and the keys were his crown. As long as they were needed, he was needed. But the undead cared not for the jingling metal, and for the man himself, they will have no need at all. Indeed. Although he is quite large, he could provide us with a lot of parts. Okay, so as you can see, the conscripts and the hunky are summoned. This is usually your first hint that they can be resummoned, which they can indeed. Do we roll the 33%? Well, it's technically 66% in our favor, right? Nailed it. That's gonna be annoying. But oh well. Unlike the Mistress, you can just kind of focus all of your efforts on the Keymaster, and we're kinda gonna do that. Sorta, kinda. So, I'm actually gonna set everything on fire, because I don't want them to get too many buffs. So eventually they'll fall over. That was quite the hit. And that's with armored plates. Do I go full green? I could venom everything, which would keep the Keymaster in this position so he couldn't flee backwards any further. Okay. Let's greed. Greed is good until it's bad. See, you can't run away from me now. And of course, because we have the venom spikes equipped, we put double venom on everyone, which isn't much for these, but for him, oh, I brought him up to 4. 29 vigor every turn. It'll be beautiful. Let's see. How do I want to play this? So with the Baron, we could execute the hunky. We could interrupt this stand. I might be able to just execute him, honestly. Do I do that? Sure.
Being born was your first mistake.
That'll heal us as well.
Opposing
No, it
me?
won't.
Your last.
Okay, I forgot that summoned creatures don't do that. That's fine, like I said. We'll just go in on the Keymaster. We'll trim responsibly. We low rolled that one. But it's fine. He can move now. The miner's gonna pull himself forward in a minute. What's this debuff? Meh. Meh. Don't care. We'll just protect Loth. And give it a slap.
As worthless as you were in life, you will be worth something in death.
The lack of... Okay, he didn't pull himself forward because of that death. The lack of healing off of summon kills is very unfortunate. But... just the reality of the situation. He might just be dead here. Alfred. Bring it home. Nailed it. First boss down.
As your suffering ends, your service begins.
Look at all that experience. And we got a Hawkeye. Ugh. Trash. That is some hot garbaggio. Now, because we got 4 talent points, part of me wants to go back into alchemy, but we will be picking up the spell.
My magic will shake the very foundations of this world.
Because it is good. It removes all debuffs from minions and all buffs from enemies. Spell power reduces its cost. It will also be negated by ward, negated by ward. So you can also use this as a way to peel off ward from enemies. We're also going to put our 1 remaining point into Whip.
Spells, hexes, curses, all are at my command.
This moves the targeted minion 2 positions forward, so it can help sometimes when, if for example Loth gets knocked all the way to the back, we can use Whip to bring her back to the 2nd position. It also provides additional accuracy, which I've never really used it for, but this can help you overcome some of the more evasive foes in the video game. We won't be finding too many until the 3rd floor, but there are many. The next spell we're also going to be picking up after that Whip allows us to is Fate. This will make it so the next attack is a guaranteed critical hit, which for Hothud is going to be a big deal. Also pretty helpful on the Reaper, so you can guarantee a crit of the Scythe to murder things faster. Reap the Maelstrom is definitely what we're picking up, but are we doing that now or are we getting Hateful Dissection? Decisions. I guess we'll pick up Reap the Maelstrom.
Get back to battle.
This makes it so that our plus spell power buff also restores 10 mana for Iratus. That's usually the go-to, I think. Because plus 6 spell power is usually not that big of a deal, but being able to restore mana is a huge deal. Especially later on as we start getting expensive and very nifty spells, such as the Finger of Death. I think we're going to hold his points for now. The Baron has nothing quite interesting. The Horned One also holding his points. And Tothud, no points remain. Alright, that was very successful. Good job, everyone. Round of applause for the 1st floor. That was easy. We did it. And now, we hope that our gambling pays off. I reloaded 34 times to get this very specific layout, so we could zig back and forth to encounter as many spaces as possible to empower our creations for this moment. We head forth to the 2nd floor, to the Dwarven tunnels, and see what awaits us. The hunger for wealth had long since become the only virtue among the hardy Dwarven folk. Gone are their ancient traditions, along with the names of their ancestors. For what was more powerful, logic or some dead dwarf rotting away into dust? Their ruthless scientists and alchemists knew the answer to that question, and the human kingdom was more than willing to facilitate their experiments. They have grown rich and feared, setting up their own enclave and becoming the default overseers of the mines. Wow, this is quite the layout. Wow, what's our boss? The Mech Brothers, Mario and Luigi. Nice, because I need to get something from them. As always, we'll decide our path through this very weird-looking maze after our first combat. Double Berserker, Dwarven Warrior. I have no fear. We go in with this health. We don't need a distillation. So if you are playing a stress build, welcome to your nightmare. These are the Berserkers, and they are terrifying. As you can imagine, they focus basically entirely on physical damage. They do not escape. They deal 30 stress damage to itself at the start of each of its actions, and for every 10 points of sanity missing, they gain +1 attack. On Eternal Harvest 5, they have 310. sanity. So if you are a sanity build and you remove all their sanity but don't kill them, that is a plus 31 attack damage. Self-buff. And of course they frenzy, which gives them luck and armor resistance. They have an insane amount of luck, sitting at 64% baseline, it looks like. Also 17 initiative. What the fuck? The Dwarven Warrior, very standard. An Iron Breaker, if you will. A sword and board. Well, dwarves don't use swords, they use axes. Or hammers. And there's not a whole lot to be afraid of about them, except by baseline they have 15 armor and resistance on Eternal Harvest 5, and they can empower their own armor with a self buff, and then one of their attacks can expend all of their armor to deal that much damage on top of, you know, their basic attack damage. So they can actually really catch you off guard if you let them, you know, power up and do that thing. But we aren't going to let them do that. Not about that life. So what is Loth up to? Good question. We could displace the Berserkers. In these first two positions, they do the double attack that you saw. In the third and fourth position, they either throw their axe, which they usually throw at the fourth position, which would make Halford vulnerable, or they do their chargy thingy, which they run through literally everyone in front of them, including their friends. So there is merit to pulling the Dwarven Warrior first, but I think we're just going to try and kill the Berserkers. I think that's the plan. Now, of course, this Ignition and Curse, there's the buff. Ignition and Curse is going to tick down their sanity and give them bonus damage, but I'm pretty sure we can just survive through that. I hope. And there's no redirection here, so we just slap. Yes, hit the horned one. No, not Holford, though. Not Holford. You should just be dead. There's a chance he's not dead. Okay, that's not good. Do I reap?
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
There's an old saying. Get your kills where you can get them. Was that your expend armor attack? I think so. Yeah. So now he has no armor and resistance. Thankfully he hit Loth, who was both healthy and has 10% damage resistance. Smack. That hurts so much. Boop. Heal me. Yeah, this is my Baron Rivendare. It kind of sounds almost romantic, doesn't it? My Baron. In a weird way. Maybe I'm just reading way too much manhwa. Smack. Get the kill, Loth. Ah, almost. Actually, she might. How much is this? That's perfect lethal. Give it to the lady, Halford. She deserves it. Bye. Perfect lethal.
Mine is the winning side.
The Archmage's Robe. All enemies lose one ward at the beginning of each battle. This is both good and okay. Of course, being able to remove enemy ward, very good and very helpful for some builds. But it's more useful later on when you can stack it with other things, because there are some enemies that have 2 ward. And with the pendant... Is it the pendant? I think it's the hammer. With the hammer and the Archmage's Robe, that just, you know, removes their ward and you don't have to bother with it. So it gets stronger as you get more ward removal items, which makes sense when you think about it, for longer than 2 seconds, which is sometimes the only amount of time I devote to things. Sitting on 50 Digger Souls, we can go ahead and upgrade something to a blue item. Who wants a blue item? I think Loth wants a blue item. More vigor and 1 more upgrade? Okay. Sounds good to me. 1 more talent point away. Alrighty then, where are we going? This looks... My eyes are trained to look for the Ziggen and the Zagan, and I'm not seeing Zigzag on this map. And I don't know if I want to be happy about that because it means I'm spending less time in the Dwarven Tunnels, or sad about that because I'm not spending time in the Dwarven Tunnels. As always, Soul Springs are immediate power boosts. This one could probably give Loth her next Vigor point. Sacrificial altars are always good. We could hit 2 this way, and a steal. That's a lot of experience for Iratus. If we go this path, what are we looking at? Just... Do we need this? Do we need cultists? I don't think so. Then we could zig a little bit. Look at all these steals. Ooh, okay. We need another Dark Knight. Don't do me dirty, Curvets.
Every war needs its generals.
We're going to try and zig and zag in a map unfriendly to ziggin and a zaggin. Whoop. Nice. The armored plates. You did me well. Thank you. So the armored plates, of course, is what Loth is wearing. This reduces all damage received by 10%. Very good item, and I should probably replace the steel spikes with it. But something in me is telling me not to. Why? Is there a reason to not equip the armored plates? No. There's literally no reason. The only reason would be if I thought I was going to get something better, but isn't armored plates, Stack of Bones literally the play? What am I fighting? Alrighty then, Double Trader. Fuck you. Let's put these on. Is it Double Trader or Double Alchemist? It doesn't matter. They both do magic damage. Go ahead and distill right quick.
Behold my word.
Our early pickup of the Scalpel feels good. It feels strong. It feels right. Berserker, Dwarven Warrior, and... There's either Double Trader or Double Alchemist. I'm not sure which is worse, honestly. It's Double Alchemist. That's worse, right? I think that's worse. So here the Alchemists, they are kind of like a support debuff character. They have no block and ward, which is very nifty and very unusual. This is probably the last time you're going to see that. But as I mentioned, they do a lot of debuffs. Some of them are very dangerous, including one of them that removes all armor and resistance, but that's not horribly useful for us at the moment. They can also do a surprising amount of magical damage, which is why I equipped the armored plates for the Horned One. Do I just Cocoon? Either Cocoon or Web. Web could be funny. I really want the upgrade. With Venom Spikes, the upgraded Spider Web instantly applies 4 stacks, which is pretty nifty. I think we just messed with the Dwarven Warrior. We just set him up to die. Did you already expend? You did, wow. Oh, yeah, you buffed them too. Oh, Alfred. Can I do anything about that? Alright, you're about to see why. First, Dispel is low-key the best ability in the game. Because this is plus 50% damage. And now, it's not. Staying alive. Staying alive. Feels good, man. Alright, let's get you back here.
Strength through pain.
Now what? Just go in your cocoon. I could reap, or I can set up... If I reap, I get the kill, or I set up for that... No.
Death delivered.
Take your kills where you can get them. Don't be overly greedy. Everything's going to die eventually. Is that the damage? Did you damage buff an alch? You did. Ow. Meh. Meh. I feel nothing but immense amounts of disrespect towards the rest of this group composition. Like, yeah, I was afraid of the Berserker. Don't fall me on that. But I'm not afraid of this. Unless that yep, you're dead. Okay. Unless that purged the Venom, there's no saving him. He is D-E-D. Dead. You were supposed to kill him there. Oh, food. You're leaving me hanging.
Become part of the breathless tide.
It's fine because the scythe is amazing. I'll try and heal a little bit. See if I can keep Hallfoot safe. Well, I kept him safe. Let's move you back. I'm pretty sure I'm just healing. I think so. He's probably going to displace me again and ruin my stance. Yeah. Rude. Why you gotta be so rude, man? So yeah, that's why alchemists are annoying, but they aren't particularly troublesome. Alright. Wait, did I scythe every single one of those? There's the ladle, we've seen a few of those. No big deal though, no big deal. I should probably make a potion, now that we have a decent amount of parts. I want the healing potion. And I want it to be able to save me. 40% recovery. I think 20%.
With knowledge and will comes victory.
Never spooked. That should be able to save us. We're heading towards the steel because Iratus needs experience. I hope no one is horribly surprised. Did I? I didn't book, did I? No. Shame on me.
With knowledge and will comes victory.
So this is Fate. The target minion's next attack deals critical damage. We'll be using this quite a bit, which is why I picked up Arcana Antediluvian earlier. That helps out a lot when we don't have the statue. Of course, the Archmage's Pendant also assists us in mana recovery. I think now I would like to get Hail of Teeth, although everything has way more than 2 blocks. Still probably nifty. I guess we can see. Do we go down to Ire now? This Ire tree is super nifty. I like it a lot. Infectious Lunacy is also baller. Kind of just want that. We have 40 Digger Souls. Do we want to do something with that? Is it time for Loth? Boop. 160. Did this go up? No. It will eventually. Now we need 10 to upgrade the next Vigor point. Oof. Oof. You know, the Horned one hasn't been getting any points lately. Mostly because I just keep giving him to Hallfoot. Like this. The Horned one doesn't mind. He is the wild god. He cares not for trivial points. He knows that should he fall over, he will simply reconstitute himself. The benefit of being a wild god and all that. Jesting aside, however, this is double Dwarven Warrior, Berserker, and Alchemist. It looks familiar, doesn't it? Looks very familiar. What are we afraid of? Nothing. I fear no man. What's that thing? It's probably in my interest to pull the Berserker forward, believe it or not. The reason being, both Loth and nope. Am I really about to do this? Brain, don't. Brain, be safe. Kill it. Can't resist. Is this damage? No. Shit.
Death
All right.
predestined.
The safe play here is to dispel. That's the safe play, to get rid of this 50% damage. What I've decided to opt for instead is to use Fate to guarantee a crit and have Hallfoot scale off of this buff. So, good luck.
This will be your...
Oh, correct call made. Greed is good until it's bad. I love being greedy. That is my favorite thing. Just seeing how much shit you can get away with. It really warms my undead heart. Smack. You know, Hopefully is really starting to hit hard, huh? I know I named an episode The Moaning Chains Are Online and all that, and I should have realized that, ow. We're back to hitting super hard. Well, now we're taking less, doing less because of the glass dagger. I kind of need to heal. Sorry. Enough of this.
So, this is what 1,000 years of evolution looks like? Pathetic.
I like how even with the glass dagger buff lost, Buffett still just lays the smackdown. Don't. Good. So how do I do this? I slap. I didn't have to fate that one. I slap, I heal, I exit. Okay, got it. Wow. Okay, there we go. I was about to say. You didn't kill it?
Another step towards my eternal kingdom.
The Baron needs the Scythe of Oblivion. It's very much something the Baron or Rivendare would use as well. With his 2 talent points, are we going to Infectious Lunacy? Infectious Lunacy is the next way we increase our Damage. Oh, you know what we need? I just remembered this. We need this. Overwhelming Ire. Okay, we're going to Overwhelming Ire. We're going to greet it all the way down there. Overwhelming Ire is very important for the Fallen Dompier build. And it just reduces the cost of all Wrath attacks by 10.
Hardly an inspiring leader, but the dead care not for morale.
It's also pretty nifty for everything else, because it brings the Scythe down from 65 to 55, it brings Hate Eternal down from 50 to 40, we could even lower that further, 30 to 20. The Web of Doom from 30 to 20. Just a good talent point. That is a good talent. It's worthy of a 4th tier talent. Alright, Kidovets, show me. Oh, yes. Yes. It's gonna happen. We're gonna do it for the first time in all of history. Well, on the channel. I'm sure I know someone else has done this. But we're going to double Dompier. Oh, it's gonna be beautiful. We're collecting the pieces.
It embellishes my undead features.
Tapping into my inner pyromania. Berserker, Dwarven Warrior, Alchemist, and Treasurer. Okay. Now, the Treasurer is more of a nuisance than anything else. But 6 block and ward. Okay. I was saying something was... Oh, yes. The Treasurer is more of a nuisance than anything else. But the problem with the Treasurer... Do you have... No. The problem with the Treasurer, besides the fact that he has 6 block and ward, is that he is prone to hitting the 4th target, or 4th position character. For whatever reason, he just loves shooting that thing. And for us, that's Hofud. And Hofud is not someone we want to have be hit like that. See, that's not something I'm interested in seeing. So we are going to greet this.
Predestined.
See what we can do. The sooner I kill the Alchemist, the sooner I can kill the Berserker, the sooner I can remove stuff from the treasure. See? I don't know what his deal is, but he just loves hitting that final position character. He has a real problem. Quick math tells me that's not enough. Believe the quick math.
Brave are an excellent source of fresh corpses.
Lol. You expended all of your armor. And for what? Nothing! Alright, just right quick. Make sure Alpha doesn't die. I guess we begin slapping the Treasurer. I'm scared of this guy, but... Oh. It's fine. That's fine. Do I... Okay. The Baron's safe. Which means the Horned One's basically going to be protecting Hofud. And And he should be good with 2 and 2, I hope. If he's not, we have bigger problems. Well, this is fine. He never got the 50% buff out. So, we're good. Okay. Little touch and go there for a minute. We're gonna have to kill you. Like right meow.
Death predestined.
I think I just heal. Yeah. Slip. Yes, suffered. Isn't it beautiful? I'm gonna wait just in case he kills that. I could even fade it, but I'm not going to.
You know, if this keeps up, I'll be done purging the world ahead of schedule.
Ah, feels good. The Terrifying Visage. All minions receive plus 10% extra damage dealt until the end of combat. We're probably going to use that on the Mech Bros. Probably. We're probably going to slap Mario and Luigi. Baron, what are we doing with you? More attack. I could have put the points in Vigor and been safe, but... when do I ever do that? 3 talent points. We are waiting once again for the Overwhelming Iron, because it's just good. And we find ourselves with a bit of a predicament. I could take this quest. There are... let's see. I know 2 of the quests on the 2nd floor. One of them is good. One of them is annoying. There's also an elite battle over there with an elite Geomancer, and I really don't want to do that if I don't have to. This is an artifact. What are artifacts? Marks. Shit. I think I'm just going to go up. I want to roll artifacts. Our artifacts are pretty terrible. I mean, they're okay. I'll use this.
Embellishes my undead features, no?
They're just okay. And just okay can be improved. That's double Alchemist, isn't it? Alchemist, Elite Alchemist. It's very annoying. Okay. 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 I need some more initiative on the horned one. Oh yeah, I forgot I used the thing. Oh, the +1 ward would have been good for this. I might just delay with Baron. Because I want to kill the Elite Alchemist, and then I want to kill the Musketeer. I don't know. I always call him a marksman. I always get that wrong. So, get over here. Had to clear my throat for that one. Hold on, hold on. Okay. I might even dispel this. I'm not afraid of it. That's fine. That's less fine. Okay, what does this do again? Lose all initiative and evasion. The Musketeer's attack deal more damage, and the mark is dispelled when the character moves. And is this the +50? Yeah. Okay. What if... hear me out. Am I gonna read this? Oh, I think I agreed it. Oh, agreed.
Strength through pain.
Yep, we're gonna read it. It's fine. We're fine. How big is this? 26. Everything's fine. I think I venomed the Elite Alchemist to death. We knew that was coming, but the block was there. So we're going to do that again real quick. The marksman...
one more for the stockpiles.
He doesn't have an attack for the front, does he? I think so. Why must you torment me? Slap. I think I just have to heal. Whoop.
One by one, life vanishes from this world.
Hello. Off with thy head. unfortunate.
Perish!
But thankfully Loth was able to get some health back between the cocoon and our Reaper doing Reaper things, also known as winning. Yes, the Alchemist is dead. The Warrior is dead. I could reap it. I don't know if the Venom is going to get this kill or not. It might. It's pretty good. Alright.
So
I took the 10% there.
Will be mine.
That's fine. 4 talent points, which means we have Overwhelming Ire. Ultimate abilities and minions cost 10 Wrath less.
I embrace this fury.
Once you have Overwhelming Ire, and especially Overwhelming Ire and Dark Enlightenment, you can really start churning out the Wrath abilities. Gets pretty gnarly. People still use that word? This is what popped into my head.
Ah, the smell of successful alchemy.
Hofeld, my dear Hypercarry. This is the last talent before we can get the Hate Eternal upgrade. So, let's just go with Grand Transfusion. Give you some more health. So the Rage Injection, I don't know which of these is actually better. The Rage Injection is more of a, I enter the stance and if anyone happens to hit the Blood Phantasm, he does the thing. The Grand Transfusion is a Warden ability. So we can take a hit for someone else if needed. That's usually not something I'm into. But there might be an emergency situation in which it's helpful. We have 76 Digger Souls. So, max attack. You'd love to see it. And more vigor. Nice. Loth, our lovely Spider Demon Queen. We're going to be upgrading Spider Strike into Spider Impaler. This increases the debuff from -12 luck and evasion to -16 luck and evasion for 2 turns.
My enemies are in for a nasty surprise.
If you are more in the stress sort of things, you can upgrade this into Spider Hex, which turns it into her one and only stress attack. But is that even good? I don't know. I've used it before and I didn't really like it. I feel like just the extra debuff upgrade is worth it, even if you are doing a stress build. I don't know. Especially... Especially since now there are a lot of builds that benefit from the dual damage. Like if you're using a Reaper in a stress build, which you can do, even the physical attack counts for something when you use Scything. But we have here the Cursed Plate. Minions gain +1 block and +1 ward, but their initiative is reduced to 0. This is pretty bad, because initiative is pretty good. But I wonder if there's even a place for this on Eternal Harvest 5, just because of how much initiative the enemies have. Like, we're barely getting Loth to go first. And Loth and the Baron are sitting at 10+ initiative. By the way, in case you didn't know, at the beginning of combat, everyone, both your creations and the enemies, roll between a 0 to 2 bonus initiative. So even if you're at 11 initiative with Loth and 10 with the Baron, it is possible for the rolls to go in such a way that the Baron goes before Loth, which happens every now and then. So we probably should scale Loth higher in initiative, but vigor. Anyway, all that for the Cursed Plate. The Ring of Purity removes all buffs from an enemy and restores 5 mana for each buff. Removed spell power reduces the mana cost. This is a secret spell, one of the better ones, I think, actually. Because you can use it, of course, to... It doesn't cost a whole lot, and you can use it to recover mana, especially from some things that buff themselves a lot, such as the Berserkers. And there have been a few instances so far on the second floor where we just really wanted to dispel one thing. And we had to use the Dispel spell to do that. Whereas otherwise we could just devour magic. An interesting item. Or the Warding Pendant. All minions gain +1 ward until the battle ends. This is a good item. Good.
Ah, I can use this.
Good. We might be doing some juggling here.
Finally, this item finds its way into my capable hands.
Because the Archmage Pendant is recovering mana, which is very nifty as we're using Fate and all sorts of things. But the Warding Pendant is, as I mentioned, very good. 1 ward could save Hawthorne 50+ life. So, I feel like it's worth wearing that. But, speaking of ward, next time, we're going to go ahead and fight our first Trader and Oracle. The real nuisances have appeared, haven't they? So next time we'll begin combat with a Berserker Dwarven Warrior, Elite Dwarven Trader, and a Dwarven Oracle. And then we will continue our Savage March through this very bizarre labyrinthine layout. When I was re-rolling the first floor, I kept getting a layout like this all the time. Like super squished and just tall, so I couldn't zigzag, and it was making me very upset. Actually, just tilted, I kept getting the same thing and not the one I wanted. But anyway, that's all behind us now, and next time we will rampage the Dwarven tunnels and teach them a lesson about true savagery. So I hope you look forward to it. Bye-bye!